Welcome to Life Happens, where Texans come to protect their legacy and prepare for the second half of life. Join your host, attorney Kim Hegwood with Hegwood Law Group, and our weekly guest as we navigate the challenges that emerge as life happens. Now here's your host, Kim Hegwood.
Good morning and welcome to Life Happens with me, Kim Hegwood, and our very special guest today is Rick Casey. Rick Casey is with Caring Senior Service. Good morning.
Hello, Kim. Wonderful to see you.
And it's always
a great day.
Oh, you know what? When you wake up and it's a beautiful day, it's always, it's going to be a good day. And so I enjoy that immensely. So today we're going to be talking about pneumonia. And so,
Yes.
And I know that's kind of a weird topic sometimes. And so, but a lot of clients as they get older have a tendency to get pneumonia pretty easier than most. And so,
Right.
so let's talk about, something basic, I guess. And, tell clients, tell our listeners what is pneumonia?
So let's start at the baseline. So what is pneumonia? Pneumonia is basically it's inflammation in the lungs, an infection in the lungs that is causing fluid buildup or pus buildup in the air sacs. So it's interfering with the oxygen carbon dioxide exchange in the lungs, which is impacting the efficiency of breathing in our seniors. And it really is an issue, and we usually see it after a bout of the flu or a bad cold, or more recently with COVID. Although we really haven't seen much on the COVID side of it, but it's out there. COVID, what they call COVID pneumonia, it is out there on that. And seniors are most vulnerable because of it's what we call the disease of the aging on that. But basically, it's an infection in the lungs, and there's a couple ways you can get it. One is via the infection, which is either bacterial, viral, or through a fungus, right? And the other is through inhalation, what we call aspiration pneumonia, right? So aspiration pneumonia is not contagious, but some of our seniors after a stroke or some other issues could ingest food or liquids, goes down the wrong pipe, right? I mean, I've done that many times. Things go down the wrong pipe, right? Well, our seniors do it too. And as we age, it's just more likely something like that could happen. So there's also aspiration pneumonia as well. But the most prominent that we see is bacterial pneumonia and from streptococcus or the cold type stuff. And then we also see it from influenza as opposed to as kind of a byproduct of a severe case of the flu on that. So we'll see it.
So why are seniors more at risk than any other age group?
Well, it's interesting. So we call it a disease of the aging. There are several of those. And as we age, just as a natural course, our immune systems aren't as strong as they used to be. And just with aging, our immune systems become weaker over time. So we're more susceptible to different diseases. And our bodies are getting attacked all the time with germs, right? Diseases, and our immune systems puts up a good fight. And it's only when that immune system is compromised that we get ourselves in trouble on that. And the other thing too, not only with just aging and compromise of our immune system, but because as we age also, we're dealing with multiple diseases, chronic conditions, things like that are compromising our immune system as well. And that opens the door for bad things to happen. And the third area that we see, although we take care of people in their home, kind of wherever that is, but we also are in communities and help with people in communities, assisted living, skilled nursing. So our seniors that are in those communities, as well as making frequent trips to the hospital, they're more susceptible to pneumonia as well, because they're in areas where the probability of somebody else being sick is increased quite a bit, right? So they're interfacing with the germs in a hospital setting of skilled nursing or an assisted living, just by virtue of being in a communal environment on those. So that kind of raises the risks of our seniors. But the biggest thing is we age, our immune system just naturally weakens over time. And we need to be more diligent about doing what we can to enhance our immune system.
So how can we help a senior, like prevent a senior from getting pneumonia? Is there things you can do?
Yeah, I got to tell you, there's a lot of things that we can do on the prevention side. And it's just really, really important. First and foremost, get vaccinated. And I know we push the flu vaccine, and that's the biggest thing, is just prevent the flu. So get a flu vaccine. That's the easiest way. The other is to, there are pneumonia vaccines for the bacterial forms of pneumonia. And to a lesser extent, usually people, if they're going to get a pneumonia from a fungus, they've got other chronic issues going on. So it's less prominent than would be the bacterial or the viral types of pneumonia. But the biggest thing is get a flu shot. And also, too, if you're so inclined, get a pneumonia vaccine as well. That's the biggest thing. The other thing is, first and foremost, what we call universal precautions for infection control, preventing infection spread. Wash your hands. Seniors, especially in this time of COVID, we've been on super high alert with all our universal precautions for infection control. Masking, gloving, washing our hands, that type of thing. So that's the biggest thing. Soap and water. 20 seconds is the rule. Soap and water. Make sure you're rubbing. You got your fingers. You're between your fingers stuff, and a good rub. Especially, we talk about seniors. Because I don't know how many times seniors were working with them, and they're just like, they kind of dip their hands under the water and kind of, no. 20 seconds, you're rubbing. You got soap going on, and you get a good rub. Second is, if you don't have soap and water available, look at the alcohol-based sanitizers, right? And making sure you're washing your hands. The other thing that we do is habitually is disinfect surfaces, right? So surfaces in the home, first and foremost, countertops, but all the high touch surface areas, light switch plates, right? Refrigerator handles, anywhere that's going to be a high touch area, remote controls, right? In addition to your countertops, that kind of thing. And just anywhere where there's going to be a high touch area. I'm trying to think what else we do. We encourage people to basically oral hygiene. So one of the biggest things, and just general hygiene and oral hygiene, brushing your teeth, reduce the bacterial count in your mouth, will also help in terms of infection possibility in your lungs. And the other thing too is doing your laundry a lot. So, and that's probably more after you're sick. So believe it or not, doing your laundry a lot. So one of the issues that we have is people like sharing towels in the bathroom, or maybe sharing a washcloth in the bathroom kind of thing. So segregating those things and doing your laundry a lot to just prevent the germs from getting spread around, right? Also, too, with seniors, when the grandkids come over, want to cuddle the grandkids, the great grandkids, things like that. Well, sometimes maybe a little less contact is, especially now as we're all coming indoors, especially in the northern hemisphere. We're coming into the flu season. We're in it because everybody's coming indoors. When everybody's outside, there's less of an opportunity for the spread and the infection rate. But as we come in and we commune inside, there's more of an opportunity for that. So it's like we call it just cuddling carefully, right? With the grandkids, that kind of thing. And getting your sleep. Make sure you're getting enough rest, which helps boost the immune system. Making sure you're maintaining a healthy diet is very important. And making sure that you're getting your exercise. Go on your daily walks, right? Keep up your exercise routine. If you're engaged with therapy, making sure you're doing your therapy on that, right? And that all those things help your immune system. The one thing that people don't think about is sunlight, vitamin D. Gee, what vitamin D? It boosts your immune system. Get out, get some sun, right? Go out when you're out for a walk, make sure you're out in the sun and soaking up a few rays on that. And the last thing would be avoid smoking on that. So for those that are still smoking in their later years, things like that, don't. Just stop. right? Avoid smoking because that just irritates the lungs and causes a greater opportunity for infection on that. So those probably be the biggest thing. But the biggest thing, get vaccinated, wash your hands, disinfect, get rest, right? Exercise, healthy diet, that kind of thing. It's just stuff we know, but we probably don't do.
So, in the wintertime, it's harder to get out and walk, because it gets cold. I mean, our version of cold anyway. What kind of activities can they do in the house to maybe have that activity to, help them stay healthy when they can't get outside?
So some of the things that we do with that, because you're right, there's these groups called Silver Sneakers, right? They go walking around the malls. You ever heard of them? Silver Sneakers?
Yes.
Yeah. So they're walking groups. They go walking around the malls, join a health club, and get, they have senior exercise classes at the health clubs, that type of thing. The other thing we do too is, believe it or not, especially for our seniors that we care for that are over 80 years old, going shopping, that can be an expedition, right? And that could be, and when we get home, they're tired. So just going shopping and walking up down the aisles of the grocery store. Also, is events such as just going to the doctors can be a big event in terms of, getting that exercise, walking. The other thing too is making sure we're doing the daily routines if they're engaged with therapy, whether it's PT, physical therapy, or OT, occupational therapy, or whatever, to make sure that we're following through on those routines when the therapists aren't there, because we all know, right, that when the therapists are there, they're on. It's everybody's getting compliance. As soon as they leave, nothing happens until they come back, right? So the biggest thing is stay engaged on a daily basis with their therapy routines or their exercise routines on that, which will help as well.
Well, how can a home care worker, keep seniors active? You just said that sometimes while somebody's in the house, they're doing their thing, but when they're not in the house, they're not doing their thing. So what can they do?
Right. So you've heard the theory of inertia, right?
Mm-hmm.
A body, right? A body in motion tends to stay in motion. A body at rest tends to stay at rest, right? So
yes.
One thing that we do to encourage activity is healthy eating, meal prep. We want to make sure that if the client is able, we're not doing everything. We're helping them. We're prompting them. We're engaging them, but we're not doing it. We're having them do it. Right, which is very important, whether it's in the kitchen, meal preparation, whether it's housekeeping duties, folding the laundry. Folding the laundry can be a great activity, right? You're moving your arms and that type of thing. So it's about engaging them, having them do the task or chore, but we help prompt and encourage. But we really don't want to do it, right, if they are able to, which is really, really important, right?
And here I thought folding clothes was not exercise, so that's good to know. Now I can feel better about doing laundry.
So Kim, at a certain age, folding clothes will in fact become an exercise.
Well, that's good to know.
Vacuuming, right? Those type of things, dusting, right? It's all motion.
I know, but then I have to fire my housekeeper, so she needs a job. So, she does all that good stuff.
The thing I realized is you may want to keep that housekeeper for what we call the deep cleanings. So while we may hit the main surfaces and things like that, if you want a good deep clean, you may want to continue to engage that housekeeper. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Rick, it's been a pleasure having you on the show today. So how can someone find you?
Oh, so we're here in beautiful Houston, and actually carrying senior service. We're all across the country. We do in-home care. We've been serving Houston and the metro area, Montgomery County and Harris County for over 20 years. And you can reach us by phone at 281-893-6699. And my email is first initial R, last name Casey, CASEY, @caringinc.com.
And so, and the website looks like www.caringseniorservice.com. So perfect.
And actually our website, we've recently, when I say recently, in the last 4 or 5 years, redone it. So we have a lot of resources there. So in fact, we have white paper reports and guides for this very topic for pneumonia. And we actually have specialty programs for pneumonia where we engage our seniors, and we set up a program specific to them and pneumonia if they are in fact going through the process and the disease and the recovery on that. Make sure we're pushing the fluids, make sure, the activity, the healthy eating, the rest, and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, you have a great weekend, and thanks for being on the show.
Kim, great seeing you again. Enjoy. Take care. Thanks for having me. Bye now.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Life Happens with Kim Hegwood. Be sure to tune in every Thursday at 10 a.m. wherever you listen to your podcast as we navigate through the challenges that emerge as life happens. The content of this podcast does not establish an attorney-client relationship or constitute attorney-client privilege, legal, medical, financial, or any other professional advice.